So my computer camera is fucking terrible. I'm sorry about the quality. I know this won't get me many views, but still, I want to make a video just for the love of the game. I haven't made a video in quite a while, and yeah, I want to be here and I want to say something. One of the qualities that I'm most proud of myself, that I most like about myself, is the fact that I'm a very honest person. I'm honest with myself. Like if I'm a loser, I say it. I say it out loud. I say it to other people. But most of all, I am honest with myself. I say it to myself, and I realize it. I keep it in mind, and I accept it basically. And what I want to say here, real quick, real stuff like yeah, very quickly, is that being honest with yourself, which is actually not hard to accomplish, doesn't take a lot. It just takes you leaving aside your ego in a way, being honest with yourself and saying like, I've been a piece of shit. Like, be honest with yourself. Like, if you've been a piece of shit, then be honest. Like, yeah, I have been a piece of shit. Like, accept it, recognize it. Being honest with yourself has no value if no change is born out of it. For the longest time, I have been, you could say, honest with myself and said that, fuck, I have to lock in, but I've never done it. And that is really just the simplest example that I can give you of this fact. That is, if you're honest with yourself and you tell yourself the truth, it has no value if no change is born out of it. If you recognize the fact that, yes, I have to make that sacrifice, I have to leave aside comfort, I have to leave my comfort zone, and I have to do the things necessary to succeed. Because the worst thing a guy can do is waste his potential, especially a person with high ambitions. It serves no purpose, it serves nothing. It is no accomplishment, and it is no end point if you're honest with yourself and if if you don't do anything about it, basically. Okay, if you're aware of the fact that you have to lock in but you don't do it, like, being aware of the fact is not an accomplishment itself. It is not an accomplishment in the first place. You being aware of it is not something that you should be proud of. It is basically the bare minimum. And oftentimes, I mean, I think this is what has happened to me. What has happened is that I look at myself and I say, holy shit, I have to lock in. I'm wasting my potential. I have wasted a lot of time, and I there's a lot of things that I could do with this life. I could be successful if I wanted to, if I did the things necessary. But what happens is I see that and I'm like, okay, yeah, I already accepted it. Like, we're good. No, like, actually you have to actually start doing something now, you know? And the mistake is that you do that and your mind sees it as a checkpoint or as an accomplishment or something that you've already done. Like a task that had to be done and you've already done it. And then you're all set. Like, no, that is not even the first step. That is literally what is required for you to actually start doing the things necessary. Knowing yourself and being humble enough to realize that you're nothing. You're not the shit. Okay? Like, exactly that. You're nothing. So shut the fuck up. You know? Shut up about everything. You cannot be talking, period. You have to be honest with yourself, especially if you're a guy, and especially if you're young, and especially if you have high ambitions. You have to be honest with yourself. And especially if you have made a lot of mistakes in your life. Like, be honest and recognize, chances are you are a fucking loser compared to what you could be. Especially when you compare yourself to what you could be if you had locked in these last few months or these last few years even. If you had just like made a little bit of effort these last years, you would be a completely different person. And you're nothing compared to what you could be. This is a quote that I said, basically, that I came up with. And definitely, maybe there's some other person smarter than me that said this before me, but it's really true. And it applies a lot to me. So that's why I keep it close to my heart. And I want to keep it close to my thoughts and be guided by this thought, basically, by this quote that I already said is you're nothing compared to what you could be if you had worked hard these last months. There's many ways to say this quote. It's like if you had locked in, for example. But some people won't understand what that term means. So that's why I say work hard. But yeah, never make the mistake, or at least look out for you making the mistake of thinking that you knowing what you should do is enough. It is not enough at all. Of course, it is not. It is really just the most obvious thing ever. Knowing that you have to do something is not even the first step. You have to actually make the sacrifice. And that is the hardest part. When you've always been a person that has clinged on to comfort and has never really consistently and for a prolonged period of time done things out of their comfort zone, out of their immediate wants and needs and desires. If you're somebody that's never done that, or somebody that's always lived in a pleasure or gratification based lifestyle, or a gratification based logic system, or a gratification based decision making system, then it's going to be very hard for you to change, to transition from that to being a disciplined person. And it takes being a disciplined person to accomplish your dreams, right? So, having that in mind, just start. And starting is really the easiest thing ever because starting is like getting out of bed and doing your morning routine. Like, you can look at your morning routine and say, oh my God, that's a lot of things. But really, you just have to get out of bed and go to, and you really just have to go to the shower and then, like, change and then have breakfast, right? But there's always a way in which you can simplify that. Like, oh, you really just have to get out of bed. And oh, really? Actually, you just have to get the blanket off of you and just get up, right? Or oh, you just have to make the movement of your hand to actually remove the blanket from yourself. And even simpler than that, oh, is you just have to think about it and do it. Translate it into physical action. It is really that simple. It is way simpler than you want to admit, or than your subconscious mind wants to admit. It is very simple, the choice that you have to make to succeed, because you are in control of your body. You have no real excuses. You have no like actual things that are stopping you. The only thing stopping you from doing what you should do is yourself. Like the only thing stopping you from, if you had to do 100 push-ups today, or to upload a video to your channel today, to progress in life, like the only thing stopping you from doing that is yourself, your own mental blockage, which you yourself created. So that's why it is quite well said when you say that the only thing stopping you is you, because that's the truth. You're the only one stopping you. It's 2:33 a.m., 6th of July, 2025 right now. Just wanted to put that out there. Um, yeah, know this. Do with this information what you want. But these videos, oftentimes I just make them for myself because they are the things that I should be listening to. And to listen to something is to let your actions be guided by that knowledge. If you listen to somebody that tells you, hey, you should work hard, you should live up to your potential, if you listen to that person, it means that you are actually working hard and actually living to your potential. If it's like you're actually doing those things. Listening to advice is not just understanding it, is letting it shape you, or you shaping yourself, knowing what you should do. keeping in mind what you should, because having it in mind is the first step. And that is the easiest thing to do. Knowing what you should do is the easiest thing ever. Now, doing it is the hard part, but it is simple. And that is something that the brain wants to complexify a lot. The brain wants to make you think that it's too complex because there are things that are more gratifying and more pleasurable to do that the brain would prefer to do because we're animals. We have primitive brains. And if you're not as human as possible, basically what I mean by that, if you're not modern, if you're not, let's say, higher than your instincts, then you will just be an animal. You will just be a being guided by urges. If you want to eat junk food, you eat junk food. If you want entertainment, you blast your dopamine receptors with doom scrolling and with all this drug that is the internet and social media and watching so much content and having so much entertainment at your fingertips and so quickly, you know? Or if you're horny, if you watch porn, you know? There's always that. If you are not guided by your logic, by your thoughts, and by your logical mind, by your logical side, you will just be an animal. You will just be a zombie at best, and you won't accomplish anything. Just keep this in mind. The choice of who you are today and you choosing to become what you want to become, you choosing to be someone else, you choosing to be something, you choosing to become something, you choosing to make something out of your life, just that, and even everything else that comes afterwards, which is you becoming successful, you becoming one of the greats. That choice of you becoming that, of you doing those things, of you becoming disciplined, is the simplest yet hardest choice ever because it requires you to let go of something that you've always clinged on to, which is comfort. So know that. Teen Philosopher out.